Hi friends, my name is Niman Bhatt and I welcome you to this video tutorial of GNS3. So in the previous tutorial, we have already talked about how we can configure DHCP server and also how we can back up our configuration, which is the initial and the running configuration. Now, in this video tutorial, we are going to talk about two important protocols, which is Network Time Protocol, also known as the NTP protocol, and CDP protocol, also known as Cisco Discovery Protocol. So basically, first we'll start with the NTP, which is Network Time Protocol. I will explain these protocols in the description also so that you can just read it out and understand the protocols I'm going to talk about here, which we are going to configure. So basically, in this video tutorial, we are going to learn four things. That is what is NTP, how you can understand NTP and CDP, what is and how we can configure NTP protocol and how we can configure CDP protocol. Okay, now NTP protocol, this is basically protocol which is used for time synchronization. We can also say the goal of this protocol is that all networks should agree on the time, should agree on one time. In this protocol, one host is configured as a server and other hosts are configured as NTP clients. They are known as NTP clients. Routers, switches, both are configured for NTP. Now, we are going to learn how we can configure NTP on a Cisco router in this video tutorial first, and then we'll talk about CDP also and configure that too. So let's start with NTP. Let's go into the command line of router 1. Okay, here right now we are in the command line of router 1. As you can see, I'm in the privilege mode of router 1. So to start configuration of the NTP, first I'll show you how we can configure the device as NTP server, a server for network time protocol. I'll select a server for network time protocol. For that, I need to know the address of the server, the IP address which I want to assign as the server. So I have to go into the configuration mode first, global configuration mode. For that, we know the command config T, press enter. Now we're in the configuration mode of the router. So here we have to configure device as NTP server. We have a very basic command which is NTP server and the IP address of the host which you want to choose as the server. Very simple. You'll choose one host as a server and rest will be the clients. So you choose the IP address which you want to choose as the server. You have to enter it here. I am choosing an address. Let it be 192.168.1.1. So what is the command? Just to show you again, it is NTP space server space the address of the host which you want to choose as the server. So you'll just write this command in the configuration mode and press enter. Now this address, this host of address 192.168.1.1 is selected as NTP server. Now after this, very simple, we'll save this configuration. We'll write the command do wr, which we already have learned. So we'll save the configuration. Okay, so what did we learn here? We learned how we can set this host as a NTP server. So now also when we are configuring this NTP server and the address, we can also give the version of NTP which we are choosing to use. So for that, we can also write a command and configure that in this command line. So which means that we can include the versions of NTP also. For that, we have a command which is NTP server. Write the IP address which you want to choose as your server, and then you have to enter the version. For example, the version I'm choosing here is version 3. So I'll just write just take a look at the command once again. It's ntp server 192.168.1.1, which is the address of the host which you want to choose as your server, and then you have to write the version. The version I've selected here is version 3. You can choose whatever version you want, and this is the basic command for that. Then you have to press enter. Now you'll save the configuration. The command for that is do wr and press enter. So we are done with the configuration. We have chosen one of our network, one of our addresses as the host here, and then we configured it. Another thing what we learned here is we chose an NTP server of address this, and we used version 3. Then we saved the configuration. Okay, now what we can do here is we can check the functionality, if this is working fine or not, if this is even configured or not. For that we have to write a command, which I am going to show you here. First we have to go back into the privilege mode, because it is a show command. So we'll just go back into the privilege mode. For that we'll write a command exit, go into the privilege mode, and now we will write the we'll write the command to show us the status of NTP, if it's working or not. So the command for that is show NTP status, and now press enter. Take a look at the command again. It's show NTP status, to check the status of the NTP which we have set, and then we'll press enter. As you can see, we have not synchronized clock, and stratum is 60, no reference clock. All the description and functionality will be shown here. So that is how we can check the status of the NTP, that is network time protocol, which we have configured. After that, what we're going to do is we're going to learn how we can configure our own device as an NTP server. That is, if you want to select our own device with the address of our device as the NTP server, we can do that also. We do not want to choose any other host as a device as a server. We'll choose our own device as the server. For that we do have a command. We'll go into the configuration mode again. Now if we want to choose our own device as the server, we have a command ntp master. See, the command is ntp master, which means that we are going to choose our own device as the master, that is the server. And then you have to press enter, and then you have to save the configuration, and you're done. Your server will be, your own device will be chosen as your server. The command was ntp master. Okay, now what did we learn in this first section? We learned what basically NTP is, and how we can configure any device as a NTP server. And then we could also define the version of the NTP server, and then we checked the functionality, and finally we configured our own device as the NTP server. Now let's talk about CDP, which is the another protocol which we are discussing in this video tutorial. CDP is also known as the Cisco Discovery Protocol. This protocol is basically used to discover the information about the locally attached, that is the routers and the switches which are attached to our network. We can get the information about that, which includes hardware, protocol information about the devices in our neighbor. It can tell us about the host name, IP addresses, version, etc. of the devices which are connected to us. So I am going to show you how we can check that, how we can get the information we want to retrieve of the neighbors around the network, around the devices which are directly connected to this device. For example, right now we are in the router 1. We'll get the information with this protocol about the devices which are connected to this router 1. As you can see here, this is our router 1. This is our router 1. And this device is connected to router 2, switch 1, switch 2, and hosts. So we want to get information about these connected devices as well. For that, we are going to I'm going to show you some commands with which we are going to get this information. For that, to display the information about these devices, we have a command which can be used in the privilege mode. So we have to go into the privilege mode first. Now we have a command which is show CDP neighbor. Take a look at the command once again. It's show CDP neighbor. That is show Cisco discovery protocol is used to know about the neighbor connected to this router, and then we have to press enter. Here you can see capability codes, router, transbridge, source router bridge, and it is giving us the information here. See, R2 is the device which is connected to R1. It has a local interface. It is connected to this interface through serial interface 0/0, which has a hold time, capability, platform, and port IDs given here. What we mean by this is that R1, which is our router here, is connected to R2 with the serial port 0/0. As you can read it out here, it is connected to the port 0/0. So with this router, we're getting, with this CDP protocol, we're getting information about the routers which are connected to the router from which we want to from which we are trying to get the information. So this was a limited information about the device which is connected to our router. If you want to get more information about this, more details, I'll show you another command for that, which is show CDP, using the protocol CDP again, neighbors detailed information about the neighbors with the help of the CDP command, CDP protocol. The command is, as you can see here, I'm highlighting it, show CDP neighbors detail, and then you'll press enter. Here you go. See, the device IDs are to entry address, the IP address which I have configured on it. We have already learned IP addressing, so I have configured an IP address for it, and it is shown here. It then shows us the Cisco device, which is 3745 router, which I'm using right now. A switch capabilities, it can be used as a switch. It is connected through interface serial 0/0. It gives us the port ID, that is serial 0/0 hold time, and then the version, Cisco iOS software 3700 software, which I'm using right now. So what did we see is that how we can get information about the devices, about the routers which are connected to a router. So in this video tutorial, we learned about NTP, Network Time Protocol, and its configuration and its functionality. Then we learned about CDP, that is Cisco Discovery Protocol, and we discovered the information about the devices which are connected to the device we are using. So that was all from this video tutorial. I hope you will understand it, and if you want to understand it a little more, please go through the description. Thank you very much. Thank you for being a part of this.